Welcome to the second evening of Fake Pal program, which is a novelty of this year's Fake, because it was until last year or this year Fake You with ex-Yugoslavian countries, and now we have the rest of the Balkan here. As also mentioned yesterday, the whole program works as a cool unity, because the new countries have really strong representatives in fiction, short fiction, and the XU, the program that was XU program, they have maybe more tendency towards fusion, genre fusion, like docu-fiction, experimental, documentary, etc. After the screening, we have a short Q&A with two guests, and I would like to conclude this intro by warmly welcoming the representatives of Greek embassy that they are also with us. So enjoy the projections, and see you at the end.
Έχω διαίσθηση ότι η απάντηση θα είναι αρνητική. Σε Χραζάτ Ρίψκι Κόσακοφ, νύχτα στο Φαλεκρόπουλο Ζόρσκι, Καγιανέο χορός των Σπαθιών Χατζατουριάν, κάποιο γνωστό του Σωστακόβιτς και ό,τι άλλο νομίζεις εσύ.
Искам да дойдеш у нас на гости. Аз и Мария искаме да дойдеш.
You just watched Fake Pal second competition program, and we would like to invite Matej Matijević to the stage.
Hi everybody.
So my first question would be, how quickly did the family get used to the camera in the house?
They didn't at all. They hated it, and but every time I started recording, there was some discomfort for a few minutes, and then they were like, just they started to ignoring it, and that was about it every time. But at the end, when they watched the movie, they really loved it. It was some kind of therapy from all the things that we were enduring during the isolation, and yeah, it was really uplifting experience, and of course, really, it was a laughing stock.
Did the dynamic change when the camera was on, or?
No. It was. They just had some mental blockage at the start, and then they started to ignoring it after a few minutes, and I was stunned by it. I thought, you know, they were putting some kind of a mask or something in, but they didn't, and they were really unfiltered. I mean, you can see it, and I was really lucky because of it. I mean, the whole movie was part of my class at the academy, autobiography, and I didn't want to make a movie about myself because it's really a horrible idea, and I decided to make this family portrait, and it's 6 of us, and we live in a really small apartment, and I just tried to record some of those vignettes, little stories and pictures of the everyday struggles that we have, and it actually is a great small movie.
I agree with you, because we, of course, in this year and also previous year get a lot of COVID movies, but this was really kind of exceptional, because you really get this authentic insight into the life of the family. But I guess that, and I also really liked how you end the film, because it's not like something that you want to wrap it up with some big message or meaning or something. So I'm interested, because filming this movie probably poses a lot of questions how to end it. So how was this dilemma working for you?
Yeah, I had some alternative endings where there were all of us in the living room, and you know, some times that I recorded stuff like that. But it felt really scripted. It wasn't, but it felt like it. And as you said, it really felt like some kind of ending. And I didn't want to have that. It was just, this moment was really some standard night when, you know, father is reading a book in the room, the other two are playing PlayStation, and I don't know, I'm just talking with mother and the smallest brother. Nothing is going on for the first time in the movie, and I really like that small, I don't know, just peace. But you know, the next day it's all going to happen again. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. And
thank you, and thank everybody that saw the movie.
Zdaj pa že vabim na oder režiserja filma Prizori skrivnostnega simpozija Milana Milosavljevića.
Hello, thank you for the screening and for the invitation.
Thank you for the movie. My question would be, was this this archive footage, was it found, or was it in your personal, I mean, or family possession, or how did you?
Yeah, I got it some years ago out of my cinematographer of some previous short films, and yeah, it's kind of, it looked like a home movie almost, which is not so common, and it wasn't usual in Yugoslavia, like in the States, for instance. So it's found footage, yeah? You can call it like this. I mean, it's found, but I got it. It's not from my family, it's not from my hometown, eventually, that I know, to be honest, because I don't know who recorded it.
You don't know the
authors? I don't know, yeah, and it's really short, like maybe complete footage is like 2 minutes, and we just expanded it to 5, in the end.
The thing that is also very interesting and cool in your movies, how you play with the sound and the image and how they influence one another. So was that the initial idea, or how was the creative process developing this?
But yeah, I was planning to make some sort of sound design, but eventually I totally banned this idea, which is good because of this music, this guy, Igor, that I found this like Creative Commons license, and it's kind of open to use this music, and I listened a lot of it to it, and then we tried in editing for some time, and it worked. It's kind of a comedy horror film, I would say. I'm joking, but it's it's kind of 60s. First part of the 60s, and it's kind of when the world is changing to nuclear threat and stuff, and this image is so poor, but we left it like this greenish sort of look, which reminds us of what is happening outside, so it's kind of, yeah.
So the glitches in image were all already there?
Yeah, everything was already there. This is really poor digitized version of some Super 8 or normal 8, as I know, and it was really bad quality of the copy.
Cool. Thank you very much, and congratulations for the movie.
Thank you.